Am I the first one?
No, there's
Nope.
one or two, there's quite a few people here.
Aw, I tried to be the
Good
first one.
afternoon. Welcome, everybody.
Anastasia, I tried to beat you by being the first one in the waiting room.
Cool. Right. Hello, everybody. Looks like we got full house here. Oh, yeah. We're looking good. Nice. Pleasant faces all around. Very nice. Very nice. Awesome. Good. Well, welcome, everybody. Good afternoon.
Good
Hopefully
afternoon.
You had a great lunch today. You were able to have a nice morning with your students. Nice short start of the day. Now we're getting ready for our afternoon sessions with some professional development, but not really professional development. I got to be honest with you guys today. It's going to be a very light day. Tomorrow's going to be light as well. So it's another extension of our gratitude and appreciation for all you all do. Just want to say thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Everybody, thank you so much. So today was our launch. And so the Student Equity and Engagement team would like to speak with you very briefly. And I just want to introduce everyone around the camera lens here today, in case you're not familiar with who everyone is on our team. So we've got Rebecca, AKA Susan Boyd. We have Robin, AKA Fierceness Goldberg. We have Miss Corinne, our artistic designer. We have Steve Moten, our techie guy here. We have Mr. Greer, Mr. Energetic PE guy. We have Danielle Carlson, our second grade guru over there, with her counterpart, Miss Clayton as well, the queen bees of the community here. And then we also have, I'm just looking around to see who's here today, I don't see her. Is our other Miss Carlson here? Kathy? Is Kathy here, the librarian? Yes, she is. All right, cool. And who else am I missing? I'm just seeing who's here. I think I got everybody. Did I get everybody, y'all? Yeah, no?
Corinne.
I said Corinne. So that's us, guys. So hello from the Student Equity Engagement team. We like to say thank you for putting your effort and energy in and with the launch with your students today. So we want to talk to you a little bit more about that today, and we want to give you an opportunity to share out today. So we have our spokesperson, Mr. Greer, who is going to talk to you a little bit about the process. And then we're going to kind of give you some guidelines for what will be going on throughout that whole PBL unit and the dates, what you can look for, where you can find more information, rubrics and those kinds of things, okay? So give me 1 second, Mr. Greer, and I'm going to share that document for you.
I have it.
You do? Okay, awesome. Let me see if it can give you sharing rights. Or do you want to just talk from it?
I'll just talk from it.
Okay, cool, awesome.
Okay. Well, good afternoon, everyone. Welcome back from your really timely hour lunch. I hope everybody had an opportunity to do something fun or just have some downtime and relax. You know, I went out to the lake and started dangling my toes into the water and kicked back and relax. Then I woke up and I was at my chair with my feet on the carpet. So go figure. But that was still cathartic for me. But we want to thank you all for all your hard work and efforts. And absolutely, we couldn't have done. I can't get it together without you guys. The Equity Committee is really appreciative. This is going to be so much fun and excitement, I know, for everyone, because we get to see into other people's classrooms who we don't normally see into. And we'll also have an opportunity to engage in some fun carryover things, especially speaking for myself as a special subjects teacher. I love when there's different projects that I can connect with and have the students relate to in my class. Mrs. Buonamo, they're still talking about that lacrosse unit and they want to play. And I'm going, no, 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 it's over, it's over. So yeah, I got some fourth graders that are really interested in lacrosse still. But I want you all just to take a breath and relax and let your food settle and lean back. This is my wellness piece. Lean back a little bit. Okay, put your arms on your chair, your feet firmly on the ground, your palm up. Pretend there's a remote in your hand and put it on Sports Center. I can hear the music now. Dun-dun-dun, dun-dun-dun. Oh, I'm sorry that I ad-libbed too much. Sorry, guys. Okay, we'll get started now. See, they gave me a speaking part. You never know what's going to happen. Well, we need your assistance and you come through full force. You'll have some time today, of course, to work on and refine and get some more pieces to your PBL puzzle if you haven't completed it already. So what you're going to be doing today is you're going to get prepared to talk about it some more on Superintendent's Conference Day. We'll talk about it, of course, today. You're going to design engaging lessons. And we always see engaging from you guys as teachers. And these lessons are going to be engaging and memorable, meaningful, and fun. I know that I'm going to love them. And I know the students are already starting to talk about what they're doing in their classroom as they come into the gym with their crowns and pretend that they were honeybees. And, you know, that was a really good idea for me because there was some food in there. I think they were talking about what kind of puffs or cheese puffs from the pollen that the bees, oh, can't wait to get in that class, Ms. Carlson. So design engaging lessons to make the learning more fun and connect with the students. Make sure you're taking tons of pictures. I know you know how to take pictures already because I've seen some of them online, and just make sure you take tons of pictures so that we'll have them later on for when we do our presentation that everybody's going to love from teachers, students, staff, and kids. Upload your pictures to the PBL class folder. Now this you need to come to me, so it's so technologically involved. Come to me.
Don't do that.
Okay, just go back to the memo that was sent to you, and on it, it says Google folder. Click on the Google folder and you can put the pictures right in there. Okay, you can decorate your room to facilitate and to foster the PBL unit that you're already doing. If you need a pair of extra hands, come down. I'm more than willing to help, as I'm sure other people are too. Decorate your room along the way. Post, display your driving question. Here's some other things to think about. Authenticity. Explain how this project addresses authentic real-world learning, challenges, needs, and concerns. And as I've said, I know that you guys are already prepared to do the launch for today. So many of you have already dived into this part of the project. Provide a brief summary of what students will be doing and are doing. Only 2 to 3 sentences for this part. You don't need to write a whole bunch. Connect the standards, the content knowledge. What content knowledge will students learn within the context of the project? Employability in 21st century skills. Which employability skills will you have the students focus on developing in this project? Collaboration, growth mindset, critical thinking, creativity, agency, oral communication, written communication, or other. Would love to hear what your ideas and thoughts are. Problem statement. What's the main problem that students will be addressing? This is a statement, not a question. Again, this is a statement, not a question. Driving question. What will be one main question that's driving your project? How do we, or what is the verb, task, so why, what the purpose is. And your project launch entry event idea. What's the hook for your students? And how did you or will you begin your project? I'm going to turn the baton over to Miss. Is it Miss Clayton's going to be talking now?
Oh, actually, Steve, can he have rights to sharing and he can we can show you the slides that we have to start the conversation. So our committee, instead of doing the virtual night all the day before, the couple days before, we're going to make it throughout the project so that at the end of the year, we're not, here till 7 o'clock at night, like Corinne and Danielle were last time. So what we're going to ask you to do today is start with the first slide for us. And is it able to come up, Steve?
No, I don't have rights.
Okay, so you want to tell them where to find it?
If you go to the magic folder in PBL, it's in there, it's titled Spring PBL.
Okay, so every grade level has a slide. And on the slide, we're asking you to all take the next 15 minutes you can turn your cameras off and stay on mute and go ahead and fill out that slide. Your driving question. Steve, help me out. You made the slides. Oh, here it is. So can you click on pre-K or kindergarten, which pre-K. So we just want your driving question. How did you hook your students? Tell us about your launch today. And then we want to know what that final project will be. And then we will come back in 15 minutes and we're just going to ask one person from each grade level to walk us through a little bit of your slide and how your day was like, just in a couple minutes. Okay. Does anybody have any questions? I can't see if anyone does. If anyone does, just go off mute. So each person has a slide, just click down to your slide and add those 3 things. We'll come back at 1:30. And another thing that we'd love you to do is take that poster board that you got from student council and to also write your driving question on that poster board and then hang it up on your door, on the outside of your door. So 2 things, make the slide, and if you could write your driving question on a poster board on each classroom. Okay, everybody? So we'll just turn our cameras off and do those 2 things, and then we're gonna come back and just walk through and everyone can share a little bit.
And what time
Okay.
is everyone coming back, Lisa?
I think we said that 15 minutes to do the slide with your team and the poster.
All right, 1:30?
1:30, is that good?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, we're excited to see what you're doing. See you
I'm
in-
sorry. So we go into the magic folder and then there's another folder called Spring PBL.
I just put the link to it in the chat.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yep, perfect.
Okay, thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
I'll stay on if anybody needs help.
Okay.
Thank you. All right, I'm talking to myself. So we're gonna just start the slideshow. So as we kind of go through it and your class or your slide comes up, please feel free to tell us more about it and give us a little bit more details and tell us how it went for you today. All right, there we go. Is Miss Kenyon here? Anybody see Miss Kenyon?
No, Miss Kenyon's out of town this week. They're
Okay.
launching when they get back.
Okay, no problem. Kindergarten, is kindergarten in the house?
Yep, I'm right here. Kindergarten and is actually teaming up with first grade. And our driving question was, how can we as Francis Parker citizens take care of our school grounds in order to make it a better community? We hooked the students, we manufactured some litter on the ground. And it was funny because as they were coming in, they noticed it and how like it was messy out there and that really bothered them. So even before he brought it up, they were like, one of my kids was like, someone had a party out on a playground. They didn't pick up after themselves. And so we went on a little field trip around our school community, you know, and especially the small playground, and they noticed the garbage on there and, you know, they wanted to get right in there and pick it up. We saw the trash can in the front by buses, you know, that was overflowing with some dog stuff. And they were, you know, very bothered and like the sticks and different things. So, you know, they were already starting to try to come up with a solution. So, today they, you know, talked and wrote about their observations and things that they saw, but our products I'm going to be is again, how are we going to come up with solutions and what other things can we do to beautify the school? So we're figuring, you know, we're going to go out and clean and we're going to cycle through like Mondays is my class day to go out and check the school grounds every Monday to make sure all the litter is cleaned up. We're going to actually go outside and clean the small playground equipment because a lot of the dirt has built up on it and people have written on things. So we're gonna go out and scrub it. I know planting's going on by first grade and we're gonna paint some rocks with some messages on it and plant them around the school. And then we're hopefully, you know, gonna have a slideshow that will show off, but then everyone in the, you know, the school community can come out and enjoy the what we did out there. So that's our plan.
Carla, are you muted?
I am. So first grade, I have your slide up. Would someone like to volunteer to speak?
Hi, well, echoing through the building. First grade is doing the same thing as kindergarten. So everything that Katie said, we also did yesterday. In addition to what she said, we're going to be talking about different types of trash. And I don't know if you remember Joe Dean, but he's going to be coming in a couple of times and he's going to take the kids through like composting and recycling. We're going to weigh the trash. So kind of taking it a step further for first graders. But basically everything that kindergarten talked about, we're also doing. And the kickoff was really fun. It was kind of like a kickoff that they didn't know about the kickoff. And it happened after we went outside and checked out the school grounds that we decided this should be our PBL unit. So it was really fun.
Super. Thank you so much. What a good transition too. And kindergarten will actually know what is it like to be a first grader because they'll be working closely with them. They'll get to meet the first grade teachers. So that's cool. And is that going to be the same thing for Vane and Millet as well? You guys are joining in as well too? All right, awesome. Thank you. All right. Second grade, where are you? What's happening?
Hi.
You guys were busy.
Ooh, turn that volume. Are you okay? Sorry, I'm sitting in the right next to another computer. All right, so second grade, our driving question is how can we as community activists organize a Save the Bees Day to inform others about the importance of honeybees? So what we did today was when the kids walked in, we had our classroom decorated with black and yellow streamers, and we had 5 different stations set up around the room. And so the students rotated through the stations and then would take notes. They gathered their clues and tried to kind of figure out what the theme was going to be. And also take a look at what may be happening in the real world to the honeybee population. So after we kind of investigated and discussed in groups what we thought the problem with honeybees could be, and that they're disappearing from their hives. So we watched a video to learn about the disappearance of bees and why this is a big problem. And then we explained that as second graders can bring awareness to our community to inform others about the importance of honeybees. So they're really excited to, share what they learn during our Save the Bees Day. We also have a box, a wrapped up box that is going to have bee t-shirts for them to wear. So we'll unwrap and unveil those on Friday. And then our final product is going to be that students are going to design a cereal box, kind of like we were inspired by the honeycomb, like how everything is about bees on the honeycomb box. So they're going to design a new cereal box to engage and inform others about the importance of honeybees and the positive impact that they make on our community. And what's really funny too is that right after all of the launch, a bee actually flew into our room and all the kids freaked out. And so I'm like, well, we're going to learn why it's not a big deal to freak out. They're not really going to hurt you. So it was really, really awesome that happened. Carla got to see that.
That was cool because they went crazy. You would have thought they were bee detectives. Everyone went swarming to the one little
Carla,
bee.
I can't hear you.
I'm sorry. I said they all went swarming to the one bee. So it was
Carla,
like
you're on mute.
I can
Or
hear.
maybe my
Can you hear me
no,
now?
She's not okay.
I can
Our volumes
hear.
are down.
You
so
hear
we
me
can't
now?
hear. That's
Oh, I was
us.
just saying it was so funny to see them switch roles as the bees because they went swarming over to the one bee and scared the bee. So the bee was just like very timid and tried to kind of hide a little bit and camouflage with the wood. But it was interesting. They were fascinated by the bee, the fact that they were learning about it. There's one right there. So that was cool. All right, let's go on to third grade. I'll give you the mic.
Okay, I'm the only one here for my grade level. So today, we launched our PBL today, and we started with different images of what culture is, just pictures only, because our driving question is how do we honor and respect each other's cultures? So we put up the different images and we had students work together to create like a mind map of what those images made up, and to try to get them to understand very briefly that's part of culture. Then they worked in small groups and they used we did like a smaller gallery walk. We just had different images of the Statue of Liberty. So each group got a small packet of like different pictures. I don't know if you guys can see that. Very good. But they came up with and charted what they saw, what they thought, and what they wondered. So this was some of their work. I have to put the pictures on the drive, but the students worked really well together. They came up with 4 in each category. There was a lot of good conversation about the pictures and images. And they realized at the end, they have a lot of questions about the Statue of Liberty and, just validating that we're going to be able to answer a lot of those questions as we move throughout the unit. And their end product, we're still, we may end up tweaking some of it and adding more, but part of what they're going to do is write a diary or a journal entry from their point of view coming to a new country, because a big part of this unit is immigration. And then they will pick a way to present themselves electronically on a poster. And they can also bring in artifacts from their own family and their own culture, and they're going to share that with the class. So they'll be able to pick how they want to share that. And that's that. And I'll put the pictures on there later so you can see better. I know it's hard to see.
No problem. Yeah, thank you so much for sharing. All right, we're going to move right on over to 4th grade, and we'll have a couple little segments. So we'll just let the slide kind of dictate who talks next. All right, Miss Phenomenal, that be you.
Yes, so today we launched as well, and our driving question is how can we as 4th graders teach others about types of energy and energy conservation in and out of school? So the kids are really going to be focusing on learning about all different types of energy, and then they will have some voice and choice in picking which one they really want to zero in on and learn more about, and creating a presentation to share with others, as well as creating posters to display around the building about how kids can conserve energy at home and in our school building. And so today the kids were given lab coats and little badges with their pictures on them as energy and electricity experts. And they rotated through centers today just to get an idea of kind of like some background knowledge of what kids knew already. And so they got to look through books and watch a video. They got to work with some vocabulary and doing some sketches to go along with those vocabulary words. And also looking at, going along with what Cheryl said, just looking at some photographs without words or anything, just doing an I wonder and I notice. We also have a board set up called Bright Ideas, and each student got a light bulb to fill out today with something that was their favorite part today, or a question that they might still have, or a fact that they learned. And so we put that up on the Bright Ideas board. Mrs. Statu, anything else you would like to add that I'm forgetting? Yeah.
I know, I think you covered it well, but they were very excited, and we did little exit interviews about the launch with them, and they were saying things like, I felt like a real scientist today. So they're very motivated to continue on with our project.
Katie and Carla, I wasn't sure if we were sharing photographs or not, but I did share a link with you that had some of our photos and interviews from today.
Okay, awesome. Yeah, we'll be having some more specific instructions on how to upload those photos. So thank you so much for getting a head start. All right, so I'm going to go on to the next slide. Thank you for sharing. Is that you, Michael?
Yep. So we have the same driving question, but we kind of did our launch a little bit different, where we started off the day where we kind of talked about some of our favorite things and objects that we have, and kind of identified certain things around the room. And then we kind of had a talk about how are all these things connected, and they all use energy. And then we kind of was like, what would happen if we didn't have energy, and kind of let it in and discussed our vocab word, to conserve energy. And then they did a turn and talk and kind of discuss some type of way that they could conserve energy now, and instead of doing some of the favorite things that they posted on the front. And then we kind of made slides of each kid, kind of like what they would do differently if they could conserve energy out, kind of a beginning slide, and then later compare different things. Like you see Evan down there, instead of using a stove, she would go outside and cook on a fire. That's it.
Thank you for sharing. All right, next, is that you, Erin? I think you can go on.
So on mine, it has the axolotls, but that's okay. So mine is a little different. Mine looks different on the thingy. Okay, anyway, so the driving question is the same. So how can we as fourth grade physicists teach others about types of energy and energy conservation in and out of school? And then we had a launch focus today that was how are magnets and magnetism related to energy. So we read the book Mickey's Magnet. I think it's from 1970, but it's really cute, and the kids really liked that book. And they had questions about it, like, can you really make a magnet that way? And will magnets really pick up that and not that? So we've talked a little bit about magnetism prior to this. So they went through station rotations. There were 4 stations along with a Brain Pop movie. So they had to make Mickey's Magnet using a wand magnet, an iron nail, and some paper clips. They had to create a maze where they had to get a little car. Their just these little like zip tie things that you can twist. They have the metal in them. And they had to make a little maze, and you would go under with the magnet, and they had to make their car move underneath. Talking magnets, where they had to look at magnets and how they repel and how they attract. And then which magnet is stronger. So they had a bar magnet, a horseshoe magnet, the ceramic circle magnets, and then one that was just like a magnet sticker. They're really thin, and had to decide there. And then we came back and discussed it. We talked about words that they came up with. They came up with barrier and attract and repel. And I have them on the list. I have them on the thing. And to indicate when the start and stop of each station rotation. Would you believe that YouTube has an hours-long static electricity sound? So it was a lot of fun. It kind of made all of our hair go up and our teeth clench. But and our product is going to be the same. So Google slide presentations, different energy sources, and energy conservation.
Thank you for sharing, Erin. Next, 5th grade.
Okay, so we are going to Mars, sort of figuratively, but kind of literally also, when we go to the Challenger Space Center, or Challenger Learning Center. So our mission will be a mission to Mars, so this fit in really nicely with that. And our driving question is, how can we as intergalactic travelers safely explore Mars? Try to figure out some of the pitfalls that could happen and see what we can devise to keep that from happening. Today, for our launch, we walked through our rocket into our classroom, watched videos of how astronauts perform some tasks in space that, if not done the right way or without proper equipment, could be catastrophic. Then we designed balloon-powered rockets, which we were planning on launching just before dismissal, but we ran out of time. So we're going to finish that up on Friday. They're really excited about that, to the point where they were really upset that they weren't going to get it finished today. So rather than rush through it, we just put a pin in it and said, all right, let's do it right and finish it up on Friday. And they're good with that. Our products are going to be a couple different things. So individual products. Along the way, we're going to create plans for different devices that that'll make exploring Mars a little bit easier or a little bit safer for the astronauts. So we're going to have a plan and a detailed sketch of that, and then we're going to take one of those and develop a prototype that's the whole class product for that device that's going to make it possible to safely be on Mars. So that's it in a nutshell.
Hey, thank you so much. Looks like that's going to be exciting. All right, let's move on to the next slide. Sixth grade, if you would, you have a spokesperson, please. Thanks.
Yep, that's us. So our driving question is, how can we as urban planners create a city that incorporates our knowledge of geometry? So the kids are making sections of a city, but they have to do it with everything they know about geometry. So we started out with a graffiti wall Jamboard thing where they just had to brain dump everything they think would be in a city. And then we looked at an article about city planning, what it actually is, and then watched a video about what an urban planner's job is. So then they had to pass a permit test. We talk about how you need permits to do things and to become things. So they had to, with words and images, they had to pass this test showing all their knowledge of geometry, whether it was acute angles or parallel lines or rays, or there's just a whole slew of things. And then if they passed that, they were allowed to pick their top 3 choices for a section of the city. And then based on that, they were put in groups. I think everybody got at least one of their top 3. So the sections of the city each have requirements. Some of them are requirements like must contain an ellipse or 2 right angles, but then they also contain things like must contain a museum or whatever it is based on their city section. And all of the planning is flat and has sections on it that are roads, and they have to make that piece a road because all the pieces are going to connect together at the end. So once they've done their 2D work, then they're going to build up. And we've studied nets for different geometric figures. So they have to assemble the nets into 3D structures. And so hopefully our final project is going to be a city that is 3D and put together from all the groups of the kids.
That's going to be cool. That's great. That's a lot of skills in there too. Wow. That's cool. Awesome. So thank you. I think we might have entered the end of our unit. I think it is the end. Yep, I believe it is the end. So I am going to stop sharing. Yep. So yeah, thank you. Thank you. That just sounds like we really are off to a wonderful start. Like the launch was phenomenal. Just seeing it in bits and pieces and pockets, it just was amazing. It was at different levels of energy, no pun intended, 4th grade, but just different levels of energy, different levels of engagement, a lot of just high level thinking though. I see like the cognitive development across the school, even from our kindergartens. The critical thinking is like at the top of its, radar, I would say, in terms of getting our children to think about this real world connection, a problem, what are we going to do about it, and being able to collaborate with their classmates and the adults to make a difference. These are the kind of kids we want to build. We want to build strong, conscientious kids who care about the world and who want to be problem solvers, right? And so thank you, thank you, thank you. And I'm just looking forward to see the extension throughout the school in PE and music and art and carrying those conversations over so kids can see that this is real. Everything we do is real. It's not just because we have to because we're in school, but it does connect to the real world. And that will just further inspire that just ability to want to learn, that just optimistic thinking, the growth mindset, all the things that we're trying to achieve. I can see it just happening. And over time, looking forward to the end result. And so here's where we want to really be clear about how we want you to, segment your launch, your project along the way, taking crucial snapshots. Think of it as a timeline. This is what we did in the beginning. This is kind of what we did in the middle. This is, some individual work, some group work, just kind of scaffolded along the way, that journey. Try to document your journey so that the pictures will tell the story. And then we are looking to put together a gallery walk for the entire school. So tables would be placed outside your classrooms where you can display, your pictures, your projects, models, whatever you are working towards an end result. You can put anything, the sky's the limit. So we don't want to tell you what you can't put, but certainly, a good representation of the journey that your class took throughout the whole project, this idea of what we're looking to see. And so that'll be in person, face to face for us and for the students to see. Now we're thinking about sharing this with parents on a different platform. And that platform is going to be virtual, same as we did in the fall. We're hoping that we can get more interesting, engaging parts of your project because you'll have that control there to put as many pictures as you want. We'll be sending more communications regarding like timelines and those kinds of things so that when the team does work towards the final presentation, you will have had an opportunity to put all the pictures that you want or any artifacts that you want in the Google folder. Is there anyone who does not know how to get to the Google folder? Need any support with that? Looks like we're good there. We're good. So there is a PBL folder. Every grade level has their folder name. And then, like I said, you can start adding stuff along the way so that it's not something that you're doing like the day before or the night before. We really want to take it easy in terms of giving you time to do what needs to do as we kind of collaborate and put everything together as a team. But this is pretty much the format. We want to know the driving question. You know, we want to know what's going on in between, what's the end result, you know, those kinds of things, and just lift up those key things there, okay? Rubrics are available in the folder. Different model projects are available in the folder. And we also have the PBL website that we went to the training for the summer as well. And I can make that link available. I can drop that in the email for everyone if you having a hard time retrieving that one too. And so are there any questions about PBL that my team can answer for anyone? Any wonderings, uncertainty? I think we did a good job, team. If there's no questions, good job, team. Great, excellent. Okay, so we're going to take a just a quick break. I don't even think we need to take a break away from the screens because we really are going to turn you loose to get some work done. So the only other thing that we're going to talk about today is our DESA assessments. And the DESA assessments is our social emotional learning competency tool that we're using to see if the kids are okay, to see how they are doing. We did an initial assessment at the beginning of the year. We did a fall assessment, and we were able to identify our students in 3 different areas: students who have a strength, our typical students, and then there's students who have a need, right? And all the students who scored at that area 4 or lower, 40 or lower, they would have demonstrated they have a need with some social competency, right? And our data just segregates and it tells us exactly what they need or what they're lacking. And in the background, myself, Miss Patricia, Miss Lee, Miss D, and our counselor, Miss Boyton, have been working with students to kind of shore them up with some of those areas where they need to be shored up in. And so those are some of the things that are happening offline with some of those students when they're having lunch bunch or when Miss D's coming in, maybe doing lessons. Those are things that they're focusing on, trying to find, you know, the most bang for their buck with lessons to support our students. And so you may see some changes in your ratings, or you may not, right? Because we are preparing to do some assessments for the spring. And that window is open. It's open as of today, and it closes on May 31st. However, if there's anyone who does not meet that deadline by the 31st to get all your students assessed, just shoot me an email and I'll be more than happy to extend that window for you. But the way the test is going to work this time around is that any students who test with a 40 or less, which means they would test with the need, there is an automated condition created where there will be a longer assessment that those students will, remember the 82 question part of the DESI, the full DESI assessment that we talked about earlier in the year? Yeah, but that's the test that we will do a deep dive to kind of test them with that test. If you need some support with that, please reach out to Ms. D, Ms. Patricia to support you with, you know, getting those done. But we do want to take a deeper dive just to see exactly what's going on with those individuals, because we were looking for some growth in some of our students. And so we want to look at what we should do next. So that'll give us that information that we're looking to do to further support those students, whether it be recommending some sort of programs for the summer or being really specific on what families can do to be more conscientious of some of those deficiencies. And I hate to say deficiencies, but it's like they're social competencies and it's something that they don't have, right? They don't have a good sense of, or that they're lacking. And so we want to make sure that we're filling that void and that we're providing skills and different opportunities for students to learn how to respond, or how, you know, a way of being. So that's kind of like what I mean when I talk about that. So I'm gonna just give you a brief like show of how to get in there again and how you should get to your ratings. If you give me one moment, I am gonna get that up for you, just a second. And I'm going to show you really from the very beginning. Okay, so when you go into the DESA Aperture system, you'll get this page right here where you have to sign in pretty much. Most of you guys probably already saved it as your password and it should automatically open for you. But if not, if you forget your password, you can just go right here and it'll email you a way to reset it. But once you go in, it'll look like this probably when you open it, and it'll only be your name, but I have everyone's name. So you'll go to ratings, this column right here. And then you'll see the rating period. If not, you can just drop it down, but this is the rating period and it's right here. And then don't pay any attention about the parentheses. It's just something that I have to do to code it. You'll see your name. You click that little arrow there. And then right over to the far right, you see start rating. And I'm just going to click that for you, Ms. Bonoma. I'm not going to start it, but I'll let you see what happens when you open it. You'll see all your students here. And then you'll be able to just click the assessments. This one is 8 questions. And then once you finish it, it automatically goes to the next student. Any students who, like I said, test with a 40 or less, you'll get a test. Well, it'll set for another assessment to be done for those students. Okay. And if there's any new students that didn't show up on your roster, I am in the process of adding those new students. You can just give me by the end of the day today, and I'll have new students. I should have those added on there for you. Okay. And that's how you get in pretty much. And it'll just go all the way through each one automatically. And then you can see your reports by going here. Once everything done, it automatically calculates everything for you. So you can go to results. You can see interactive charts. It'll show you your whole class. This is our whole school. This is how we're looking as a school. And we're doing actually much better than last year, I would say, in terms of needs. 49 students, 18% of our population. Typical 60% of our students, they're doing okay. When someone asks you, how are the kids? They're doing quite well. Most of them are doing well. And then we have our top tier, about 63 students that are exhibiting a strength. And I wouldn't be surprised if the blues move over to the greens. And very likely do we have blues go backwards unless something very traumatic happened. Or we got more students, and we got a whole lot more students. We got a whole lot of new students, particularly in our primary grades. And many of those students came to us with needs. So we can pretty much predict with some of that data we may have, depending on what happens with the babies we've been working with. This could be lesser because those students went over to be maybe typical or strength, or it could be more because of the new babies who we just didn't have enough time to be very intense with what they need, because many of them are coming with us with multiple needs. All right, so that is that. Are there any questions or anything I can show anybody, clarify anything?
Miss Roberts, just so you know, Mike Jinks put the link to this Aperture Education site in the chat.
Excellent. Thanks, Michael. Appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you. Everyone's good. No questions, no concerns. All right, excellent. So we're going to turn you guys loose.
Actually, can I just do one thing?
Absolutely. Oh, yes.
I'm so sorry. Thank you.
No problem. Let me stop sharing.
This shouldn't take long at all, guys. Yep. It'll take 2 seconds. But as a big part of our SET plan for the year, for the next 3 years, there's a survey that needs to go out, a very brief survey, 2 questions that goes out to staff, students, and families. In regards to our 2 SEP commitments. The school-based planning team, through the list of all the questions in those surveys that the district creates, determine which one question for commitment 1 and which one for commitment 2 we thought we wanted to get answers to after having completed our year. So this is our May 2022 survey. I'm going to be sending it out because this is the staff survey, but I want to show it to you because we would really appreciate it if you could finish this survey by end of day Friday. Again, it's 2 questions, and then there's an optional question, which I'll show you in a moment, where you can kind of add some more information. So right here, you can see question 1, this school values the work I do to support students beyond the curriculum. This is our set commitment 1, which deals with our social emotional health and well-being, restorative, things of that nature. So you can see there's just a scale, you choose 1. The second question is, I implemented strategies to help students be successful in areas that she struggled with academically. This is set commitment 2. Again, you pick the 1 on the scale. Then we just added in an optional 1 that'll help us as an administrative team to see what we can do with either of these 2 areas or beyond that we can help you with as we reflect over the summer. So the optional question is, how can the administrative team best support staff moving forward? If you have any ideas, suggestions, or feedback, this is a great place to put it. It's in paragraph form, so it's just open-ended. So today, as a matter of fact, in a moment before we go, I will put this link in the chat, but I'm gonna send it out to the whole staff. Again, if we could get your results by Friday, we would really appreciate it because our school-based planning team is about to start our next step. And we have to have this data in hand in order to create the next step plan. So we're going to be continuing, as you know, all of our commitments are 3 years, but we're going deeper each year. So your feedback's really going to help us hone in on that. So that's the staff 1. Also, just so you know, there's a parent guardian 1. We have a PTA meeting next Thursday. I will be introducing it to all of our families, and then it's going to go home. We're going to give parents 1 week. I will print it out so that we're sending it home by print as well. It'll be available online for families. So that due date would be the following Friday. And then finally, we have a school student survey. Again, same 2 topics. It's just the student version of the question. So we're going to ask students, I feel like I am part of our school community. They have to say where they fall. I have learned strategies to be successful in areas that I struggle with academically. They need to rate themselves. The school-based planning team felt that grades 3 through 6 would be great to do this. However, if K1-2, you would like to also participate either by walking your kids through it or letting them try it alone, you are welcome to. So if you need that, K2 teachers, just email me separately and I will forward that to you, okay? Any questions about these surveys? You can come off mute if you do. Okay. Then I'm going to go ahead and share the link with everybody. I'll just send it by email. It'll be easier than everyone gets it at once. So, and then I will also do the student one again for all the teachers 3-6 and any K2. I'm going to send that link too. If you could have kids fill out this survey by end of next Friday, that would be great. So both parents and student surveys by end of next Friday, because half of them may not come on Friday. So this gives them some time to get it done. All right. Thank you, Carla.
Thank you all. Have a great afternoon.
Wait.
Until tomorrow. Who said wait? What do you want? What do you want?
Because these people need to know that lunch will be in the cafeteria
tomorrow. Okay.
Tomorrow.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you for that, Miss Patricia.
Awesome. All right. Have a great afternoon, everybody. Thank you.